Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Benjamin Ngwane, and I am your host and author of the book called The Monopoly Control Your Space or Be Dominated. This book is available on Amazon, Smashwords, and Google Play Store and other online store. If you do not have a copy, I want you to pause right now, press the link below, and get yourself a copy so that you can enjoy this mini series of my podcast, right? Because I will be discussing every chapter in the book, but I will not be reading throughout every chapter. I'm just gonna pick a few sentences and then just discuss further on them, right? So this book contains 40 chapters, including the introduction, and we are going to start on the introduction, right? So what is this book about? This book is about discovering yourself, who you are, and what you are capable of. Alright, a lot of people go through life living below their own potential because they do not know what they're capable of, and a lot of people go through life living in a way that they do not want or wish for themselves because they do not know who they are. So this book is the key to unlocking your true potential and for you to realize your true self or the best version of yourself. Right. So without wasting any time, let's go into the introduction. I'm gonna read it out. The Monopoly is about taking control of your life by taking control of yourself. Life is not supposed to happen to you. You're supposed to happen to life. So I'm just gonna pause right there. Right. Life is not supposed to happen to you. You're supposed to happen to life. So, what do I mean by this? If you do not have a vision in life, right? If you do not know where you're going, chances are you are gonna end up anywhere but where you want, because you don't know where you want to be, right? So life is just gonna toss you around. Right, circumstances, people will drag you left, right, because you don't know where you're going. If you know where you're going and you know what you want in life, chances are you'll be focused on attaining what you want, and you'll be focused on going where you want to go. Right? In life, there's certain people who come to distract you. There's certain people who come to help you. There's certain people who come to destroy you, right? And none of those people will have control of your destiny when you know where you're going, when you know what you want out of life. But if you don't know what you want out of life, right, then some of those people will actually have influence on you, and they will end up dragging you into places you don't want to go, right? So life is not supposed to happen to you. You're supposed to happen to life, right? Life is void. Life is an empty space, right? It does not mean anything. Life is meaningless until you make meaning of life, your own life, right? And you choose what creates meaning into your life. You choose, not anyone else. You choose, right? So the question is, what does your life mean to you? How do you see your life playing out? Think about that. Think about your life. How do you want your life to be like? Don't think about how you want people to perceive you and your life. Think about how you want your life to be like, right? And start focusing on that and start working towards that, right? And if you do that, life is not going to happen to you. Of course, there's certain events that we do not take into account, unplanned events that happen in our lives. But if you are focused, right, they do not mean anything, period, because you know where you're going. Let me continue again. You have no right to be surprised by what happens. if you are in control of your life, right? You cannot allow yourself to be controlled by what is happening. Instead, you should control what happens in your life. Success doesn't happen to you, it happens because of you. That's quite fascinating, right? Think about it. Let me read again. You have no right to be surprised by what happens if you are in control of your life. Let me start by explaining that sentence. Certain things in life are predictable, right? For instance, you know that if you are tired and you lie down, chances are you're gonna sleep, right? You know that, and you know that if you commit a crime, you get arrested, right? So certain things in life are predictable, and you need to be aware of those things that are predictable, things that are inevitable, right? And you have to accept some of them. For instance, we cannot go through life without any attachment, right? It's impossible for us to go through life without any attachments, right? When you spend time with people, chances are you're gonna start caring for those people, right? And some of those people might betray you, some of those people might hurt you, some of those people might lie to you, they might do all kinds of stuff, and you need to come in terms with that, right? You need to accept that people hurt people, right? You cannot be ignorant of that, right? I once dated this other lady, and she said to me, promise me that you're not gonna hurt me. And I was like, that's impossible. I might hurt you intentionally, I might hurt you unintentionally. So I cannot make that promise. What you are asking is impossible. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I'm not gonna hurt you. Chances I'm gonna hurt you. Alright? So you need to accept those things, to say, okay, I'm surrounded by people, and people are capable of anything. Alright? And because they're capable of anything, alright, you keep your eye open. Don't close both eyes. Keep one eye open every time. Do not be involved actually in a mutual relationship or whatever relationship, whether it's friendship or whatever, and then you just turn a blind eye, you just trust someone completely. That is just insane. With that said, let's continue. You cannot allow yourself to be controlled by what is happening. Instead, you should control what happens in your life, right? Like I said, if you have a vision, if you know where you're going, right, you cannot allow what is happening to you control you, all right, or destroy your dream, your vision, your goal, right? The whole idea of having a vision or a goal is so that when you go through tough times in life, you got something to look towards to, right? If you don't have a vision, you don't have anything to look towards to, right? So if you get defeated, you might stay defeated, right? But if you have a vision, right, you got something to fight for, right? So if you get defeated by life, right, like there's a certain circumstance or situation that takes place in your life that puts you down, like really, really down, right, you can get up. Because why? You got a vision. You got something that you're fighting for. You got something that you're looking towards to, right? This is why it's important to have a vision in life. This is why it's important to have goals in life, and not only to have them, but to take them serious, right? To put in the work, right? To invest in them, because they will help you in situations whereby you personally think, you know what? This is it. I'm not gonna get out of the situation. This is rock bottom. I've hit rock bottom in my life. But if you have a vision, you can get out of it, and you can stand up again and continue with your journey. Anyways, let's continue. Success does not happen to you. It happens because of you, right? In terms of success, right? If you do something you've never done before, chances are you might fail, right? And those are the things that you need to accept, right? If you are starting a business venture and you've never started a business venture, first of all, you don't have any experience. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. So always know that if you are going to try something new, if you're going to do something you've never done before, chances are you are going to fail, right? And don't take it personal. Don't be like, okay, no, I'm not going to do this again. I lost so much money. No. You've never done this before, right? You cannot hold it against yourself, right? You just need to start, right? You do what you do, right? If you fail, learn from your mistakes, improve, right? Do it again, because if you start something, if you commit to something, then it is worth doing. Whatever you commit to, it's worth doing. And if it's worth doing, it's worth doing very well, right? You gotta put in effort, right? So success, like I said here, success doesn't happen to you. It happens because of you. That's you not quitting. That's you saying, you know what? I accept that I might fail. I might lose money, but this is what I want, right? If you're not willing to put money on something that you want to do, if you're not willing to invest in something that you claim to want or claim to want to build, then it does not mean anything to you, right? Don't even do it. But if you are willing to put money, if you are willing to sacrifice your income, right, to achieve something, then it's worth doing. And then even if you fail, just keep on doing it until it works for you. That's what you gotta do, right? So now we're gonna move to one of the lines in the book. Like I said, I'm not going to read throughout the whole chapter. I'm just gonna choose specific lines and then just discuss a little further. So before I get into this, let me just drink some water. It's very important to keep yourself hydrated, you know. Learning is good, but don't be infatuated with constantly educating yourself if you haven't discovered who you are, because you will only confuse yourself if you do that. Learning is good, but don't be infatuated with constantly educating yourself if you haven't discovered who you are, because you will only confuse yourself if you do that, right? Learning, like I said here, learning, it's good, right? Learning is always good. We learn something new every day, right? But don't be infatuated with learning everything and anything that you can get your hands to, right? If you haven't discovered who you are, right? Because that will only make you lose focus. So let me explain it this way, right? Learning is only relevant if you have a purpose in mind. You are not God, right? God is the Almighty. God knows everything, right? You do not know everything. You do not need to know everything. I want you to think about that, right? You do not have to be the smartest person in the room. Make sure, even successful people, they say this, you have to be around people who are smarter than you, which means that you must never in your life be the smartest person in the room, right? You have to avoid being the smartest person in the room. You should be surrounded by people who are smarter than you so that you can learn from them, right? So you do not need to know everything, right? You only need to know what is relevant to you. Like I said, if you have a vision, right? If you have a goal, if let's say my goal is to build or start a business venture, which I've never started before, then I have to learn more about that venture, that business venture. I have to look at, let's say, existing businesses that are doing what I want to do, learn from them. That's the information I need to focus on, right? If you don't have a vision, if you don't have a goal, you're most likely to be exposed to so much information, and you will take anything that comes to you, and that's not relevant, right? So having a vision, having a goal, right, will help you discard certain things, right? I don't need to know everything. I don't actually care about a lot of things. I focus on what is going to help me. If I'm going through financial problems, then I'm not gonna go into exclusive bookstore and buy a novel, right? It's not gonna help me with anything. I don't need any fairy tale, any mystery or to help me. It's not relevant. A novel is just to take your mind off things. It's just to help you imagine. Novels are good for imagination. If you wanna improve your creativity, you kind of have to read novels to just expand your imagination, right? But that's not what I need. I got financial problems, so I'm gonna get myself a financial book, right? Not just any financial book, right? A financial book that talks about a similar problem that I am facing, because it is there. For every problem that you have, there is exactly a book written to help you with that specific problem, and you just have to make time to search for that book, right? That's all you need to do, right? Don't be infatuated with just learning, so that you can be the smartest person. Do not be, in any circumstance, be the smartest person in the room. I'm going to repeat that again. Do not be the smartest person in the room. Actually avoid that, right? Because you will never learn anything. But anyways, let's continue, right? You need to face yourself and deal with everything you do not like about yourself. So, I like this, right? You need to face yourself and deal with everything you do not like about yourself. The thing is, there's a lot of things we do not like about ourselves, things that we hate about ourselves, right? And you gotta face that, right? The thing is, as much as you want to be successful, as much as you want to get to the next level, you have to deal with your own issues, with your own traumas, with whatever bad experiences that you've went through before you can jump to the next level. I mean, if you think about it, there's this show where people talk about, I blew it, they had an opportunity, they had money, they had all these things, and they blew it. They blew that opportunity away, right? So that opportunity comes, in my own opinion, I would say that opportunity came when they were not prepared for it, right? Sometimes you are not prepared for success. That's why success takes longer for you, right? And for you to be prepared for success, you have to deal with certain traumas that you've went through, right? So that you can be able to handle success when it comes. Because if you grew up in a harsh environment and people used to look down on you, chances are, if I give you $1 million, the first thing you're gonna do is to show off. To take that money and show off to the people who looked down on you, right? But if, let's say, you dealt with that trauma, right? And I give you $1 million, the first thing you're gonna do is not to try and show off. But the first thing that you're going to try and do will be to try and multiply that money so that you can be stable, right? That's the first thing that I would do. If someone were to give me $1 million, I would think about, okay, how can I make more millions with this $1 million? All right, so that I can stay in a millionaire club, right? That's what I would think about, right? Because I've dealt with my traumas, I've dealt with certain things. I'm at a point where I don't care about showing off, or to go to someone and be like, hey, see, I'm making it, I'm living the dream, blah 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 blah. Right? I don't care about that. Right? So sometimes you just have to deal with yourself. There's certain things you don't like. If you do not like your own weight, do something about it. Right? If you do not like how easily you are angered, do something about it. Try and improve that. Right? But also don't try to change yourself, who you are, so that you can fit in a specific group or in a specific circle. And also do not try to change too much of your physical appearance. I mean, there's people who okay, I want to change my teeth, I want to change they do these surgical implants on the breast, especially women, their buttocks and all this stuff. Don't change too much of yourself. No. This is not what I'm referring to, right? I'm referring to certain things that you see hindering your success because they are habits. There's what you call habitual habits. Habits that have been there for a long time in your life. There's some of the habits that keep you from being successful. Like you want to start reading books, but you got this bad habit of you start reading a book and then you give up on your first chapter and then you're done with the book. You're like, you know what? I cannot read anymore. Right? Those are the things you need to work on. Right? Because you want to be able, you cannot say to yourself, I'm not a reader. No. How are you going to make research? Because if you want to learn something, you have to do research. You have to read books. You have to read articles. You have to watch videos and certain things like that. So if you have habitual habits that are hindering your success, that are standing in the way of you being successful, then you need to deal with them. You need to work on them. Focus on improving yourself. Right? And when you focus on improving yourself, success will be automatically attracted to you. Right? I've heard this from a lot of successful and prominent people that do not aim for success. Just add value in your life. Be a person of value and success will come to you. And that is true. Because now if you are fixing these bad habits, right, automatically your behavior, the things that you do will start to change. And when those things change, guess what? Right? Success starts to come to you. Right? Because you start doing what you were not doing. You start reading, all right? You start doing research, all right? You start associating yourselves with people who are going somewhere in life. And by just default, you can be successful by association. So I want you to think about that, all right? Work on yourself, because sometimes success does not come to you because you're not ready for it, right? This is so nice. I hope you guys are enjoying. With that said, nowadays people don't die of old age, but rather of heart failure and stroke. This is all because their hearts can't handle more pain and their minds can't handle more stress. Everything keeps piling up. We never fix anything. We just sweep everything under the rug. This is what I was talking about. You got to fix certain things, all right, in your life. Right? You can't just ignore. Like I said, I was just talking about habitual habits. There's certain things that you do that you know what, this is not good, right? And you gotta deal with that. You gotta fix those things, all right? You gotta fix your traumas. You gotta deal with them actually, right? We all have trauma, right? We all have our own baggage. We all have pain, things that happen to us, things that we're still carrying, things that makes us behave in a certain way, and we have to deal with those things if you want any chance of success, right? You have to deal with those things. You have to face your own demons, right, for you to get to the other side of success, right? So let's learn to deal with things as they come. The easiest way is to deal with things as they come, right? We have this problem, which is forecasting problems that have not yet happened, right? And this creates stress, pressure, which is unnecessary because we are busy forecasting problems that have not yet arrived. For instance, there was a time, I was late to work, and then on my way to work, I started thinking about, oh my God, what is my boss gonna say? Blah, 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 blah. And then for some reason, I get to work, my boss is not even there. And all this time I was stressed, I was focusing on this is how it's gonna play out, this is gonna irritate me, I'm gonna say something bad, we're gonna do this and that, we're gonna exchange words and that, and none of that happened. None of that happened. So I stressed myself for no reason, right? So until you cross that bridge, all right, do not focus any problems, all right? Just focus on what you have to focus on. If there's a problem right now that comes, right, you have to determine if this problem is worth your time, right? If it is worth your time in terms of fixing. There's certain problems in life that are not important to solve, right? Problems that are not urgent, right? So you have to determine if this problem that you are facing right now, if it needs your attention, right? If it is really important, like, is it worth solving, right? If it's not worth solving, just pass it on, right? But if it is worth solving because it might reoccur again, then deal with it as it comes. Deal with your problems as they come, right? And whenever you have free time, work on your traumas, work on your depression, work on all of these things, improve yourself. Because if you do that, you will feel great about yourself, right? So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. On the next episode, we'll be talking about the first chapter, which I call Recognize Yourself. So we will go more into detail about self-actualization, realizing who you are, and recognizing the kind of person that you are, right? Because once you recognize what kind of person you are, it becomes easy to make decisions. It becomes easy for you to do exactly what you need to do, right? But if you don't recognize yourself, you might just copy and paste what other people are doing. So I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed sharing some of the things in this book. So until next time, I'll see you. But other than that, let me know what you think of this episode. Leave your comments below and subscribe to the channel and like, comment, share with other people. It doesn't cost anything to share this content. If you enjoyed it, share that. It's the same thing as a meme. You get a meme, makes you laugh, and you're like, okay, this is a great meme. You share it with other people. Same thing with this. Share it with other people if you actually enjoyed it. If not, let me know where I can improve, because I'm all about that. As an author, I'm working on more and more and more books. I'll continue publishing. So I would like to know where I can improve there and there. And this is life. We're always learning. So until the next episode, thank you for watching. Cheers.